it has been at least 120 years since I've done a flip through Friday. And here I am with 4 journals that I recently made out of old books. I did hidden spines. That was my first time doing the hidden spine. And I did these all together, and I just realized now that this one is taller than the rest, which is probably why when I cut all the papers, I had problems and had to cut papers again, because I probably measured them all to this book. So, I'll start with this book. So this was the first one I did. So I tried to include a little bit from each book in the books, but I did not get to do that for all of them. I think the last one I didn't have any pictures for, and the pages of these books were like really brittle. Now I have 1950s magazines that I included a lot of the ad pictures from because I just think they're terrific. And I laced some of the edges. I did not sew it. I glued the lace down. So I have a bunch of old yearbook photos, yearbook pages. And I just tried to include a whole bunch of paper. This is like from an encyclopedia. I fussy cut. This was a picture that I screwed it up. So what I did was I put some napkin backing over it, and I really like how that ended up coming out. But yeah, I kind of just went through and just threw in some old pictures and some ribbons and things. This is from the encyclopedia too. And this is a wrapping paper, but it's like really thick. So I have scrapbook paper. I just took a whole bunch of papers that I had in my collection of, you know, pages, and these music papers were like a little bit brittle, so some of them I taped down the fold. Look at colorful tissue toilet paper. I thought that was cool. I've never seen colorful toilet paper, so. But yeah, a lot of the ads were like household stuff, which I think is also cool because it's like appliances and all kinds of things. 1956 Chevrolet. I love the old cars, so I try and cut the ads out for those when I can. But the 50s theme is so cool, and I didn't do ephemera with it because I said, you know what? Somebody might want to use this for their old recipes or for, you know, something specific, and I didn't really want to include anything. I wanted to kind of make it a little more versatile, you know. This page actually was ripped, so I taped it and then I put paper over it. See, still a little, you can see a little bit right there. But I kind of tried to keep like a vintagey feeling when I was looking for papers for this. So you know, the solid paper, not the solid, but the scrapbook paper that are in colors and patterns like this. And then I got a package of dyed paper from Amy, the Darkwood Sanctuary. I got that from her Etsy store. I'll leave a link for her below. And just stuff like this came from a vintage decorating book, so you can cut out the fixtures and put them on your own room, which this one might not have a blank one, but a couple of the other journals have the blank pages so that you could actually design your own room. But yeah, so I just had fun. Spam is fun. Each one of these, I think it has 3 signatures, and I think each signature has 10 pages, if I remember correctly. Has somewhere between 10 and 12 folios. You know, hey look, they colored a beard on that guy. So yeah, folios. So that gives you quite a few pages in there, you know, and I love the little lacies. So that was the first one I did, and this was the second one, and I book cornered on the front corners of these. But yeah, the books, like, they feel okay. The pages were real brittle. I hope the spines aren't. This is one of those decorating pages for you to decorate your own room. So yeah, you got that. More Amy paper. yearbook. So a lot of them you're going to see the same papers but different ads. So this is for paint colors. And then, like I said, I just laced here and there. I just glued things down here and there. I just kind of rolled with it, you know. I just, whatever felt right. I tried not to be super uniform. I tried to kind of make it a little more sporadic and spread things out. Some of the paper I dyed with my homemade walnut, black walnut ink. So this is it in a spray bottle, and I also keep it in a jar, and I use a paintbrush. So yeah, I love my ink. If you'd like some ink, get a hold of me. I got big jars of it available, and I mean my big jar, I'll show you. My big jar, which I only fill to this ugly line here, this jar has lasted me like over a year, or almost a year actually. The end of last September is when I made it. So that, I kind of made this like, because this page was a little shorter, so I made it kind of a tab. I tried to use all really good quality paper instead of any kind of junk. I love that. It's like, oh, Miracle Whip. So, you know, I didn't include any crap paper or garbage paper. I tried to make it really... Oh, I didn't even realize that. Tramp, tramp, tramp. Sorry, whoever gets this one. Tramp, tramp, tramp. But yeah, so I had a lot of fun. I have a lot of this ribbon right here. Let's see, this big roll. And I just love it for this retro vintage feel. It's just great. I love that style ribbon. I try to collect a lot of the cotton ribbons. I know there's a name for them. I just don't know what it is, but they're cotton. More Amy paper. A lot of my tea-dyed stuff is also from Amy. Here's another one of those, like this is for, you know, your furniture to lay out in your kitchens and stuff, your countertops and whatever. These were from the encyclopedia. And yeah, the yearbook pages are fun. I love yearbook pages. And so you can cut the yearbook pictures out and make some yearbook photo ephemera, like I showed in my video last month. I did some yearbook page ephemera. This one I kind of tipped in with some of my fabric washi that I have, because it's got two sides and it's craft ideas, so I thought that was pretty cool. Campbell's soup. So yeah, gets clothes cleaner than any other product, especially made for automatic washers. So the ads are just great. So that's the second one. The third one, this is the third one. I finished this one last night. Except for the lace. I did all the lacing today. Cartoon in there. Well, just how long will the electricity be off? I'm helpless. And it says the American Home, March 1956, and I left that there because it shows her with all of her electric appliances as like a joke. Whereas nowadays, you really can't be without electricity. Like even us, we just got a generator up and running that we had. So, yeah. It's funny how dependent we've become on the technology and the electricity, whereas back then, they made a joke out of it. Just cracks me up. This came from an old tool catalog, so I dyed it. This was a long time ago that I did that. Bet you 5 years ago that that's probably like, I'm probably getting to the tail end of those pages of that catalog. Pressure cooker. The ads are just great because you see the progression of the items that we use every day and where they were in 1956, which is now like what, almost 60 years ago. So yeah, or I'm sorry, almost 70 years ago. I lied, almost 70. Pardon my impromptu horrible math, but I really had fun with these books. Oh, Golden Fluffo. I included the buttermilk biscuit recipe. I don't think you can get Fluffo anymore, but you can at least envy the recipe. So this was a Dagwood book, which I always liked his hair, so I tried to include as many pictures of him in here as I could. Freezer paper, which is like really expensive, especially if you make soap and you line your soap molds with freezer paper, so yeah, it's expensive. I did have a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with these. I still have like a huge mess I have to clean up from them. If you'd like a retro ephemera kit, I can probably put one together for you. So that's the third one. And then this is the fourth one. Gold in the Snow. That just makes me think of pea in the snow. I'm sorry, but you know, I know I'm going to be selling these, and that's not really a big selling point, like, oh, pea. But I think of that when I hear gold in the snow. Because you want to stay away from the golden snow, right? Lots of great, really great paper. This is from a washer ad, which I just loved the top of the washer and dryer, so. This is also a wrapping paper. It's a high quality wrapping paper. Scroll paper, more Amy paper, tool book. Easter bird can keep a secret. I doubt it. Never heard of an Easter bird keeping a secret. Chase and Sanborn coffee. I just stuck it on this page with on this yearbook page because it's like this corner was made for that. Starlac tuna chowder. I put the recipe in there. I just had fun. I just had fun picking through my bits of magazine pages and, you know, going through a couple of my 1950s magazines. And, yeah, I just went through and put them together. But, yeah, I took apart some maps, and I just grabbed a bunch of my papers that gave me the retro feel. And I figured, like, if I leave them a little more plain, I can sell them for less, so that you're not paying a fortune to get a bunch of ephemera that you might not even be interested in. This was taped. This was taped in the book before I bought it, and I dyed the paper with the tape on it, and the tape stayed, so it's obviously meant to stay there forever. But yeah, I figured that you could play around with this in your own way and have your own fun with it, you know. And like I said, I can sell it for less. I can put together some retro ephemera kits, but, you know, they would be separate from this, from the books. It just blows my mind. So yeah, these are the 4 journals that I just finished, and I have some glue books to do for the next flip through. I love this lady. She's like, I'm like, she's got to go on the last page. I've got some glue books to do some flip throughs on, so, but I just wanted to get a flip through done of these bad boys and show them off a little bit so that I can list them, I guess. I can list them in my Etsy, and I can get them off my desk now. My desk is kind of full of crap, and I got to clean it off. But thank you all for looking through my stuff, and I will see you soon for another Flip Through Friday.